Welcome to left turnings. Now this left turning I'm going to break down, so what you can do on this one is give yourself a running commentary on how to do it. Now one of the best things I teach on teaching people to drive, my name's Jason, I'm a driving instructor of 16 years and I do a lot of online content and I do a lot of physical still in car work as well. Now what we're going to do today is the left turning minor to a major. Now at the junction we've got double dots going across, which means give way. What does that actually mean? Give way to traffic left and right on that particular road, because it's just a T junction on this one. So what we're going to be doing is going up to that junction with the attitude. We've got a house on the corner on each one, which means it's a closed junction. That guarantees you're going to do this in gear 1, because you can't see what's coming and you try to fly out of there in gear 2 and that's it. You're probably going to kill yourself at some point. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to keep it nice and simple, right? So we're going to be turning left at the junction, right? And all I'm going to teach you is 4 words: mirrors, signal, brake, and gear. That's it, right? We're not going to overcomplicate it. We're just going to literally teach 4 things: mirrors, inside and left for a left turning; signal, now signal, just make sure there's no turnings on approach so you don't confuse people, you're actually going to turn at the one previous to it. Braking, we need to brake and slow things down, and that gives us time to get the rest of it done, get the positioning sorted out, which should be about a grid from the curb, about a foot from the curb. We need to follow the curve of the curb as well when we get to the mouth of the junction. So that braking gives us time to do that and gives us time to select the correct gear, which in this occasion will be gear 1. Right, so that's all you do. And you're allowed to talk out loud on a test. People don't realise this. You can do this. And what examiners and what you need to do for a driving test is repetition, repetition, repetition. So if you got to every junction, every left turning and say mirrors, signal, brake, gear, mirrors, signal, brake, gear, you keep doing that on every single junction, each and every junction look exactly the same as the previous one. Your examiner only wants 2 things out of you. He wants to feel safe and he wants to know you've got great control of the vehicle, and this is the best way to do it. So we're doing a minor to a major left turning. Now if no one's there, we do not need to stop, but we'll be going that slow that when we get to the mouth of the junction, we won't be checking once, we'll be checking twice, even 3 times. By doing that double and triple check, you'll be more ready to deal with what may be coming. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do 2 minor to majors. So I'm going to turn left at the bottom, little street, turn left again onto a busier road, and then we're going to park up on the left hand side and just recap it. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is talking it through as we're doing it as well. So let's do it together. So the engine's on, clutch down, first gear, foot on the gas. Side mirror check, are we clear? Yeah, nice and clear. All round check. And if no one's there, we don't need a signal. So biting point, set gas, automatic handbrake comes off on its own on this one. Right, let's pop it into gear 2. Right, we're going to turn left. Mirrors, inside and left. Left signal, try to keep your hands on the wheel when you do it. Right, braking gently on approach, clutch down to the floor while braking, into gear 1 while braking, follow the curve to the left, check once, check twice, even 3 times as I'm finding my biting point, and keeping a good left position so you don't go over the centre line when you do it. And that's the first left turning. Let's repeat it again. Mirrors, left signal, braking. Now as we're braking, we're going to put the clutch down, go into first gear on approach. We're going to follow the curve as we approach. Now we've got a bit of traffic this time, so we've got a bus and a car and parked cars on the left as well. So we need to be very careful. So this is what's called peeping and creeping. I'm covering the brake and I'm using biting point to pull myself round so I can be checking multiple times and then popping into gear 2 once we accelerate. There was the car coming behind, but we had plenty of room to get round and not slowing down. I'm going to do one more final left turning for you as well. So turning left, mirrors, inside and left, left signal. Let's bring that visor down and braking gently. Now as I'm braking gently, clutch down, I'm going to go into gear 1 because I can see a car park around the corner here, which means if someone's coming down the middle, there is very limited room. So your warning signs there is that parked car on the left hand side. And I'll finish off with one more left turning. Mirrors, left signal. I'm going to cover the brake and cover the clutch this time. It's rolling on its own at 10 miles an hour, feeding the steering through and checking my positioning because it's a very narrow street, and then we're going to park up on the left again. So mirrors, inside and left, no one around, so no signal needed. We line up my reference point, clutch to the floor while I'm braking, and brake to a gentle stop. Now once I've stopped, my handbrake's on, that's fine, I can take my foot off the brake, into neutral, take my foot off the clutch control. and it's put itself into a stop-start position, but I'm going to turn the engine off as well. Right, so let's just recap that. Each and every one of those, we did mirrors, signal, brake, and gear. Right, now we also popped in a major to minor as well. We're going to do a bit more in depth on them ones on the next video. Right, but I'll just pop one in there just to show you what they're like. And on that particular one, we didn't have to stop. We went from a major to a minor. So we're turning into a side street. So we did 2 minor to majors, and we did 2 major to minors on that one. The last 2 were just on there as well. The only difference on them 2, you can go straight round. One of them we did gear 1, and one of them we did gear 2. But I'm going to break that down a little bit more in the next video for you. So next video will be major to minor left turnings. Please watch out for that one. That's a great one, that one. And that's starting dealing with more busier traffic there as well. So let's just recap our left turnings. We're going down the road and we're going to be turning left. 4 things, 4 words. Say out loud, please. It makes it so easy. Mirrors, inside and left. Who's behind us? How close? Remember, that's flat glass, true distance. Side mirror. Want to make sure no one's going down the side of us. Cyclists on mopeds. And remember, the side mirrors are curved or convex, so it makes things look further away than they actually are. So that's why you need to double check on that one. And we put the signal on, and the signal's all about the timing. Don't put it on too early. It just turns before the one you're taking. And then we're going to start lightly braking. Now, a common fault on when you're first learning to drive is while you're light braking, when you put your clutch down, your right foot goes heavier and you don't get to the junction. So keep telling yourself light braking approaching that junction. And as you're approaching the junction, you stay about a grid from the curb. We follow the curve of the curb, following it round for your left turning. And then we slip it into gear 1 on a closed junction. If you've got a fantastic view, field on either side, and you can see for miles, and there's no houses or blockages or anything on your right or left, then yes, possibility of doing it in gear 2, but there's not many turnings you'll do that on. So we go into gear 1. And while we're braking, we've got the clutch down, we've gone into gear 1, and we're crawling up to the junction. Well, basically just rolling up to the junction. And we check once, we check twice, even 3 times before we start finding that biting point and emerging over the giveaway lines, which is then broken dots there as well. So that's what you do on your left turnings. That's minor to major. And on the next video, watch out for it, we're doing major to minor.